All right, so let's go ahead and set up our current run view controller. Okay, so what we're going to do first, let's start setting things up. Like, for example, we need to set up the text that we want to show, the shimmer text. Okay, and so let me pull up the app, the final version. Okay, so we're gonna set up this change this button, set up this shimmer effect and the label, and I will also rename this view that we called capsule view to slider view. So let me first do that, rename this to slider view, just so we can identify it easily. And at the top, I'm gonna import from our realm and realm Swift and import shimmer Swift. Okay, those two things we're gonna need. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna first create our slider text. Okay, so right underneath slider stop, we're gonna create a private lazy var slider text, which is going to be a UI label, and I'm going to say UI label slide text is equal to slide to stop. Text color, let's give it white. And size, we're gonna give it 24. Okay, let's see, 24 is subtitle font size, so we can actually change that to self.subtitle font size. Okay, then we're gonna create our shimmer view. So you're gonna say private lazy var slider shimmer. Okay, shimmer view or shimmering view is equal to shimmering view. And shimmering speed, we're gonna set it to 1, and shimmer pause duration is gonna be 3. Okay, there are various other properties that you can set for this control. I'm just gonna set these two. Okay, the other thing I want to do is instead of this guy right here, we're gonna change it to arrow dot left dot and dot right dot circle. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look. I know we haven't constrained the slider text yet, but I want to see, like, our arrow being changed, so that's good. And it still works good, so we can stop that now. Okay, so now stop.circle.fill. Okay, perfect. Now when we have, like, these controls created, let's go ahead and add them into our view. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into our setup view. Okay, and right under slider stop, we're gonna say slider view dot add subview slider text and slider view dot add subview slider shimmer. All right, now for the slider shimmer, we're gonna say the content view for this one is gonna be the slider text. This is how you actually provide that which view is gonna shimmer, and slider shimmer dot is shimmering, set this to true. Okay, all right, So that is the setup for the view. Next, we're gonna actually set the slider text constraints. So right underneath slider text, and as layout constraint dot activate slider text dot center x anchor dot constraint equal to slider view dot center x, and I'm gonna copy that and paste it, and this is gonna be center y and center y. Okay, so that's gonna be our slider text. Okay, and we're also gonna set the constraints for our shimmer. Okay, and this one is going to be slider slider shimmer dot leading anchor dot constraint equal to, and we're gonna say slider view dot leading anchor constant is gonna be 75 points from the start, because I want to center that, and I want to start the shimmer right where the text is. So leading trailing anchor dot constraint, actually we don't need trailing, we just gonna say slider, sorry, we need trailing constraint equal to slider view dot trailing anchor negative 75, and slider shimmer dot top anchor is gonna be constrained to slider view dot top anchor, and slider shimmer dot bottom anchor is gonna be constrained to slider view dot bottom anchor, like so. Okay, let's go ahead and give it a go to see if we have our shimmer text. There you go. So shimmering text is showing up, and you can see, like, a slight shimmer right there with a pause, and you can adjust, like, however you want to. For example, you can give the pause duration maybe like 2 seconds. Oh, let's do 1 second and see how that looks. I think it's gonna, yeah, that's way too fast. Let's try 2. Yeah, that's perfect. 2 is actually better. Okay, so we're gonna give it 2 seconds of pause duration. Okay, so we have our shimmer effect set, and we have our slider control working. Now what we need to do is we need to make sure that whenever we are stopping, we are gonna save the new run. Okay, so let's go ahead and work on that. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I guess first thing, let's go ahead and check it out, like where we are stopping. So we are, like, first of all, we need to have a location. So we have a location manager, but in these variables we are not collecting, like, the locations. And if you recall, in the run, in order to add run, we need location, list of location as well. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to add a new private or file private variable. File private because we're gonna access this one inside the extension. So file private dot file private var chord locations is equal to list of location. Okay, and what we're going to do is the extension where we are actually getting the run, wherever we are actually getting the new distance, right here, after adding the distance basically to the location, we are also gonna add a new location, or create a variable for new location. Create a location, and this location takes lat long, so we're gonna say take the double value, extract the double value from end location dot coordinate dot latitude. Okay, and for the long, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna say end location dot coordinate, which is geolocation coordinate 2D dot longitude. Okay, so this is going to basically create our location object, and we're going to take chord locations, and we're going to insert that location, new location, at the index 0. So we're going to keep appending it like, at the beginning. Okay, and remaining everything else is gonna stay the same. What we are doing is simply adding our location into a local variable, because this is gonna make it easy for us to basically save the run. So whenever we are calling the stop run, right here, we're gonna say run dot add run to realm, and here we are gonna supply pace. We are already computing and saving pace inside a local variable. Run distance. Okay, duration is the time elapsed, and chord locations. All right, so these are going to be all things that we're going to be saving, and that's all it should take to basically get save the run inside the realm. Okay, now before we go, let's make another function, and I want to make a function basically for that slider bounce animation. So we're going to say private func slider bounce animation. Okay, and we're gonna say UI view dot animate, and we want to take the one that takes duration and completion. So duration, animation, and completion. So duration for the first one is going to be 0.5. The animation is going to be self dot stop slider knob dot center dot x. So we're going to move the center x point by 100 points. So x coordinate, basically move this slider in x coordinate by 100 points. Whenever the completion is done, we're gonna call another UI view dot animate, and this time we're gonna use the one that actually has initial spring velocity and spring with damping. So let's see, yeah, spring with damping. Okay, so this animation is gonna run for 1 minute. There is gonna be a 0.1, not 1 minute, 1 second, 0.1 second of delay. Initial spring with damping size is going to be 0.5. It's basically the value how springy you want your animation to be. For the options, we're going to say curve, ease, in and out. And for the animation itself, we're going to say self dot stop slider knob dot center dot x minus equal 100. Okay, for the completion, we're just gonna leave it as is, because we don't need anything inside this. So I'm just gonna do it like that. Okay, there you go. All right, so now we want to call this whenever the view appears. Now you can display this like every single time user lands. For example, I'm doing that, but if you want to just display it once, save a value inside your user default. If user has already seen the bounce, then just don't show it, otherwise play the slider bounce. But I'm gonna leave it like, for every single view did appear. All right, so let's go ahead and give it a go. I'm gonna click on run, and there we go. Our animation works fine. So I'm gonna let it run a bit and then gonna stop. Okay, and realm is created, and it has created a log. And we cannot do anything with the selection right now, and as you can see, it's 0.02 is what we are getting. So let me go inside our history table view cell, and instead of 0.1 we want to say 0.2f. So show after two decimals, like two decimals. So in the log 0.02, there you go, that's better. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna let this run for a few, and then we're gonna save this basically value. Okay, so till that time what we can do is we can go and work on our previous run detail view controller. All right, so I'm gonna simply add a new file here inside the view controller. I'm gonna call this previous run detail view controller. Okay, import from UIKit, final class. Base view controller. All right, so this is gonna be our previous run of view controller, and we're gonna take run as an object, like as a parameter, and let's create some UI elements. Let's create a map view. Before we do that, import map-kit. We're gonna set ourselves for the delegate, and don't forget to set the translate to false. Let me put this second. There we go. Okay, we're gonna create a top handle. So top handle, first background. This is gonna be a UI view. Background color is going to be UI color dot black dot width alpha component 0.4. For that, for the top handle, we're going to create a top handle, which is once again going to be UI view. Background color is going to be UI color dot white dot width alpha component 0.6. V dot layer dot corner radius is going to be 3. Layer dot masks to bounce is going to be true. Right, and that's going to be our top handle, the one that we're gonna scroll. Right, then let's create our initializer. So we're gonna create our initializer that would expect a run. So we're gonna say self dot run is equal to the run that's been passed to us, and we're gonna call super dot init with nib name nil bundle nil. Okay, now this is gonna make us basically implement this required as well, which we're gonna leave it as is because this is not gonna be called from the storyboard, so we don't care about this one. Now let's say empty for life cycle, and life cycle basically events are gonna be view did load super dot view did load, and we're gonna call setup views setup constraints into this, and let's create these functions. By the way, if you wanna do multi-line typing, just hold option key and drag up. So once again, hold option key, drag up, start typing private func, and there you go, and hit escape to get out of that multi-line editing mode. All right, so that is our setup view. We can have view did appear super dot view did appear animated. Okay, we're gonna set the overlay here. So map overlay is gonna be called here. Okay, now let's create MD for helpers. All right, and here we're gonna first add our subviews. So add subview map view, add subview top handle background, and top handle background dot add subview top handle. Okay, for the constraint, we're gonna first set the constraint for map view. View dot leading, so we're gonna make it cover the whole screen. So trailing top bottom trailing anchor top anchor and bottom anchor. Okay, that's our map view. Then we're gonna set the handle, the top handle to drag the view down, and that's gonna be top handle background. Okay, and let's layout constraint dot activate top handle background dot leading anchor dot constraint equal to view dot leading anchor. Trailing, and we're gonna set the top as well, top anchor dot constraint view dot top anchor. And then for the bottom, we're not gonna have the bottom for this one, we're just gonna have the height. So we're gonna say height anchor dot constraint equal to constant, and we're gonna give it a 20 points of height. Okay, all right, map view does not have bottom anchor. There you go. Okay, then top handle and as layout constraint dot activate. All right, so this one is going to be top handle dot width anchor dot constraint equal to constant 100. Top handle dot height anchor dot constraint is equal to 6. Top handle dot center y constraint is gonna be equal to top handle background dot center y, and similarly we're gonna have it for center x. So we're gonna center this inside our handle background view like so. Okay, all right. So now there are a few things that we're gonna do for the map. Okay, so let's see, equal to constant. There you go. Okay, so let me take a look at the distance. So we have run 1.3 miles as good, so we're gonna stop that now. Okay, and let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, so our view is not refreshing. That means in the history view we need to, on the view did load, or view did appear, actually view did appear, super dot view did appear animated. We're gonna call table view dot reload data, because we need to, oh yeah, so I'm gonna actually remove this for now because we're gonna come back to this. Okay, so let me go ahead and rerun this, and let's go ahead and start. Oh, I shouldn't. Okay, there we go. So 1.3 right there, and 1.33 is the distance that we have traveled. So that's perfect. Now we have all of our data being stored. Now in the next video, what we're going to do is we're going to continue working on our previous run detail view controller, and add the map view layer and stuff like that, and then just bind it to our detail view and launch it so we can see that run detail from the log. Okay, so that's coming up next.